Today's topic is risk and return. So I want to ask you, what is risk? In a simple term, can anybody tell? And what is return? So basically, what is a risk in very simple term? Okay. So first we'll go for the return. So what is return? A return is an income received on an investment plus any change in the market price, usually expressed as a percentage of the beginning market price of the investment. That means whatever investment you have made on that, if you are generating some gain, like suppose you have invested a lakh of rupee in some project, other than that 1 lakh rupee, if like suppose you have invested 1 lakh in the uh, FDs, and the return interest rate would be, if interest rate would be 8%, then at the end of the year what will happen, you will get 8% of the return. That means you are getting 8,000 rupees on your investment of 1 lakh rupees. So that 8,000 will be your considered as your return. So whatever you are investing on that amount, if you are getting something, that would be considered as your return. That means in very simple term, it is the gain generated on investment whatever we are making, the investment we made, and if we are gaining some, we are generating some gain on that, that would be termed as in return. Okay, so now there are two components of return. One is yield, another is capital gain. Now, what is yield? Yield means this is the very most common factor, and this is thing, whatever extra we are getting on our investment, just like I gave you example, this 8,000 would be our yield. That means investment value neither has decreased nor it has increased. The investment was the same, it is of 1 lakh, but the other amount which we are getting as the interest rate, it is termed as yield. Now capital gain. Capital gain means if there is an appreciation of your amount, suppose you have invested 1 lakh in the share market, and now that value of those stocks have become 1 lakh 10,000. So that money you have invested, it has become now 1 lakh and 10,000 rupees. That is the, there is the your value of your capital has been increased. That means you have got some appreciation. So that would be termed as capital gain. Suppose if you are buying gold you have last year if you have bought gold, so the gold was of 40,000 rupees per 10 gram. So not, yeah, per gram, yeah, gold is per dollar, yes. So 40,000 if you are, and now currently if you have that gold, and now the price in the market is 50,000, that means the gold was the same, the amount was the quantity was the same, but the value of that 40,000 has become now converted into 50,000. So that would be your capital gain. That means there is some appreciation. If there is appreciation, that will be termed as capital gain. If there is depreciation, then it will be termed as the capital loss. So there are two components in the return. One is yield, which is the extra amount on your investment. Another is capital gain, which is the appreciation or depreciation of your initial investment. Now total return, there is one formula to calculate the total return on your investment, which is yield plus price change. Now yield means whatever, if suppose you are getting some dividend, some interest rate, you will add that. Suppose now total return is yield plus price change. Price change, you know, if you know, then how do we change that? PT is time period T, and T is T minus 1 is time period at the time T minus 1. So these are the price of the stocks, or you can say price of your investment. You can initially check what total amount you are getting. So this is PT1. Price of stock at the time period would be the T1. So let's take one example here. See, suppose Ali purchased the stock for rupees 6,000. He has initially invested rupees 6,000. Now at the end of year, stock is worth rupees 7,500. Now you can see that 1,500 ka there is increment in the value of this 6,000. 1,500 हमारा बढ़ गया. Now Ali was paid dividend also he has got. So what would be the total return received by the Ali, and how will we calculate it? We will calculate with this formula, previous one. This here our DT is 260 rupees. Our time period T1 was 7,500. Our PT minus 1 initially when we have invested it was 6,000 rupees, and again it is divided by 6,000 rupees. So what value will we get? If you are having pen or book, you can calculate. I'll wait for 2 minutes. If somebody is calculating, give me the answer. What would be the answer? You just need to multiply it. 260 plus what? 1,500 divided by 6,000. Now 6,000. Do it. Now 260 divided by 4. Do it fast if you have calculator or if you have phone. So leave it. So it is what? Rupees 260 plus 7,500 minus 6,000 divided by 600. It is 0.293. That means it is 29.3%. So when Ali has invested rupees 6,000, and after a period of time he has got 7,000 rupees, 7,500 rupees plus a dividend of 260 rupees. So he will be calculating it with the use of this formula, total return formula. So his total return was 29.3%. So by using this formula, you can calculate your total return on your investments. Now there is one more term called expected returns. What you are expecting, you are not sure how much you will be getting, but based on the current market situation, you are expecting, okay, last year I have got 8% or 10% on that particular investment. Maybe in the next coming years, I'll be getting related to this amount. So this would be your expectation. So the investor is not sure here the amount of return he would be getting in the future, but there are many possibilities. So he will what? So and after analyzing the policy possibilities, he will calculate his average return. So for using for calculating the expected return, the formula we are going to use is this. It is expected return. ER is written as expected return. This is called as summation. This sign is called as summation of x into px. Px is the probability of various return की इतना मिलने के कितने chances है, 10% मिलने के कितने chances है, 5% मिलने के कितने chances है. If you have studied statistics, so you would know probability. What is probability? Probability of getting chances, how much you will get. So for example, again, suppose if you knew a given investment had a 50% chance of earning a return of rupees 10. If you are thinking कि 50% chances हैं हमें because of last year's we are seeing, so with rupees 10 we will be getting as return. 25% chances if we are seeing कि return 20% आ जाएगा, या based on the market condition of that particular stock we will see कि यार 25% chances है इसमें loss भी हो सकता है. So हमारा expected return क्या हो सकता है? Expected return would be this table would be we need to make this table. So return was, we are expecting 10% return. What was the probability? 0.50. So this table will multiply this into this equals to this. So return x, because our formula was what? Summation of x into px. So 10 into 0.50, it would be equals to 5. Again 20% chances, it would be equals to 5, and minus 10% losses if we are thinking. So what would be it? So it would be minus 2.5. So total will be this. So expected return would be 7.5% if we are thinking that 50% chance 10 rupees ka hai, 25% chance is for rupees 20, and 25% chances of being loss of rupees 10. So this is how we will calculate expected return with the use of this formula. And every time we go for expected return formula, we need to make this table. Now we have one more term, risk. What is risk? Return we have done. Now risk is what? It is the chance or possibility of suffering a loss. If we are suppose investing money in the share market, so we would not be sure that we will be getting return only. It would happen that we our money get lost due to market crash. So there is a risk. If we are talking about return, we always say that stock market gives us higher return. But in the same time, there is higher risk while we are investing in the share market. So in simple terms, if we can go for the risk definition, it is a chance or a possibility of suffering loss due to future uncertainties, because we don't know what will happen in the future. Market may go up, market may go down. So we are completely on the risk side. But if we are going for the bank FDs, we know that at least our investment will, our deposited money will not go anywhere. We will get some in a very less amount of money, but the investment we have made will be safe. But when we go for the share market, risk is high. When we are comparing return is also high, but at the same time risk is also high. So risk is what? Risk is a possibility of suffering loss. कि loss हो सकता है. It's a possibility. It's not sure that होगा ही, but it is a possibility of suffering a loss because of the future uncertainties. Now, so the definition is risk is the variability between the expected and the actual return. What we are expecting कितना मिलने वाला है, but we have not got that. So that is the risk. So there are two types of basically risk. Two types of risk are the systematic risk and unsystematic risk. Under that systematic risk and unsystematic risk, so systematic risk may we have interest rate risk. We can't avoid these kind of risk. We can't avoid. One second, my screen is. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Which are you able to see this market risk slide?
No, ma'am. The PPT is not visible.
PPT not visible, right? Okay, let me share it again. My laptop is getting hanged again and again today. Now is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So yeah, there are two types of risk. One is systematic risk, or we can call it a non-diversifiable risk also, and another one is non-systematic risk. Non-diversifiable, that means we won't be able to control it because it is controlled by macroeconomic factors. Suppose the government has changed. Suppose the outside, it is outside the business. It is the external factor risk, which like the portion of the variability of return of a security, which would be caused by the external factors. We call it systematic risk or non-diversifiable. As the name suggests, non-diversifiable. We won't be able to diversify this risk. It would be because of economic and political instability हो सकती है, recession आ सकता है, गवर्नमेंट में चेंज द पॉलिसीज, उसकी वजह से हो सकता है, शेयर मार्केट में अप्स डाउन हो सकते हैं, वो हो सकते हैं. सो देयर आर डिफरेंट डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ systematic risk. So risk inflation की वजह से there could be a risk. Interest rate का risk हो सकता है where the government is reducing or increasing the रिस्क. पॉलिटिकल रिस्क होते हैं, मार्केट रिस्क हो सकते हैं, मार्केट जस्ट लाइक शेयर मार्केट का रिस्क है. नेचुरल कैलेमिटीज आती है जस्ट लाइक व्हेन दिस कोविड स्टार्टेड टू हैपन, मार्केट एकदम बहुत डाउन चला गया था एंड मेनी पीपल हैव लॉस्ट मनी आल्सो. गोल्ड का प्राइसेस एकदम से बढ़ गया था. सो इट कुड बी फ्रॉम द नेचुरल कैलेमिटीज, हो सकती है किसी एक पर्टिकुलर इवेंट की वजह से, इंटरनेशनल इवेंट कुछ हैपन हो जाता है जस्ट लाइक इन 2007 एंड 11 में जो मार्केट क्रैश हुआ था बिकॉज ऑफ लेमन्स ब्रदर जो यूएस के बैंक में हुआ था. सो उसकी वजह से इंडिया का मार्केट भी क्रैश हुआ था. सो देयर कुड बी डिफरेंट डिफरेंट पॉसिबिलिटीज, बट इन systematic risk it could be external only. And when we are, because it is non diversifiable, it's not in our hand, it's not in the business personal hands. And the non systematic risk are those risks where we can handle it, just like labor है, strike कर दिया या मैनेजमेंट की इनएफिशिएंसी है. So what could we do as a business personnel? What we can go, we can avoid this kind of risk. We can talk to labor union, we can go for the like management की efficiency बढ़ाने के लिए we can hire good people. We can like raw material scarcity हो गई, so we could arrange another raw material from the another place. So these are kind of risks which we can't avoid, which we can avoid. It is non-systematic risk, which it is in the hand of business, it is inside the business, and systematic risk, they are the outside the business. So non-systematic risk में business risk हो सकते हैं, आपका financial risk हो सकता है, आपने market से पैसा उठाया है, वो आपका losses हो सकते हैं, uncertainty किसी भी तरह से हो सकती है. Now the market risk, if we elaborate this risk, it is the market risk refers to the variability in the returns resulting from the fluctuations in the overall market conditions. So this is systematic risk कि market में जब भी in fluctuations होते हैं, so in fluctuations की वजह से if the market condition goes worse or better, so it would be the risk we won't be able to avoid it. We have to bear this. Another one is financial risk. It will be related to the finances, because if you have so much debt and you won't be able to repay on time, it would increase your liabilities. So if the larger proportion of assets financed by the debt, so variability be larger hogi. If you are running a very good business and all of your assets, fixed assets, your machinery, your building, your plant, everything is you have taken loan, and your business is not doing good, and you are not able to repay the loans, so everything is on debt. So you won't be able to repay on time, because if your business is not doing good, you won't be able to pay on time your debts. So it would be the financial risk, आपका उस तरह का loss हो सकता है. Now the liquidity risk. A liquidity risk is an investment that can be bought or sold quickly without significant price concession, is considered as liquid. The more uncertainty about time element and the price concession, the greater the liquidity risk. Liquidity risk is if we talk about गोल्ड के प्राइसेस चेंज हो रहे हैं बहुत ज्यादा, तो वंस वी हैव बॉट इट, लाइक अगर हमने कभी बहुत महंगा बॉट किया था, एंड अगेन वी आर गोइंग फॉर द मार्केट एंड नाउ वी वांट सम मनी, सो इट वी विल नॉट गेटिंग द सेम मनी. सो इट वुड बी लिक्विडिटी रिस्क की पहले हमने उतना हम लिक्विड रिस्क की वजह से हमारा सारा जो भी पैसे जो भी गोल्ड का वैल्यू था वो डाउन हो गया. वी वोंट बी एबल टू टेक आउट दैट मच ऑफ मनी which we have already spent when we were buying it. Now the foreign exchange risk, it is the risk, like whenever we go for foreign exchange, sometimes the dollar rates in exchange to the Indian rupees, sometimes it's 70, it goes up and down daily. So it is also the foreign risk, foreign exchange risk. If suppose the dollar is today 70, it is of 70 rupee, $70 for 70 rupees for $1, and tomorrow is if it's 75, then 5 rupees we have got the loss for this foreign exchange risk. My PPT is visible, right? Or is it pause? I think it's pause. Market risk. Now the country risk means it is the political risk when the government changes, government falls, तो उस वक्त भी जो इमरजेंसी डेवलप्ड होती है या फिर कोई वॉर की सिचुएशन क्रिएट हो जाती है या फिर कोई पैंडेमिक सिचुएशन क्रिएट हो जाती है, दैट टाइम आल्सो you have risk for this all these things. So this is what systematic risk and unsystematic risk, जहाँ पे हमारे दो तरह के रिस्क होते हैं. Systematic risk which we cannot avoid, it would happen, then everybody has to bear with it. And in unsystematic risk where we can control things, because the things will be in our hand. So the systematic risk which will affect overall market because of the economic condition, because of other changes in the economy. And unsystematic risk would be the risk which is independent of economy. It is not dependent on anything. It would be inside the business. It will be purely related to the business. So these two type of risks are there in your syllabus of the second unit. Now coming to the another topic, it is how many of you searched on Google for SIP, STP, and SWP, as I told to, like yesterday, day before yesterday? So mutual fund, we talked about mutual fund. In the mutual fund, we have different types of options available, but these are the three types basically: SIP, that means systematic investment plan; STP, that means systematic transfer plan; and SWP, that means systematic withdrawal plan. These three types of way to invest in the mutual fund, SIPs. It is a kind of investment where we are putting some amount of money in monthly installment. Second thing, the installment will be as less as 500. Mostly AMC's mutual funds offering you a minimum amount of 500 per month. You can go for this amount. Now you have to be regular for your monthly installment. It should be a long-term capital appreciation. SIPs are made for the long term, because if you are investing 500 rupees, so in a year you are going to invest only 6,000 rupees. So in 6,000 rupees you will not get any difference, which we are, when we are talking about mutual fund, that will be getting approximate 10 to 15% of the return on investment made in the mutual fund. But the thing is, if you are going for long term, more than 5 years or 10 years or 15 years, so that would give you a good amount of return for the long term. So this SIP comes under the long-term capital appreciation. So if your financial goal is long-term capital appreciation, you can start your SIPs now. We don't have to pay taxes on this capital gain because it is a long-term investment. So after 15 or 20 years, when it will be matured, that time the amount you will be getting will consider that time as your income, not today. After 15 years, if you are some amount you have got 1 lakh 2 lakh rupees, and that comes under that time ki tax category mein, then you have to pay something, but currently if you are paying, you don't have to worry about this tax part. Now this is STP. What is it? Is just a brief. I'll explain it in the next slide. So this is STP. It is the systematic transfer plan. So what we can do in transfer plans, what happens, we have invested, suppose in one SIP, and that was of the debt funds. So what happens, we can transfer that particular gains from that particular SIP into the another SIP, which would be from the same AMC. AMCs are the firms which offers you, which controls and which regulates and which offers you this mutual fund. Suppose ICICI mutual funds hai, ICICI hai, HDFC hai, SBI hai, Reliance hai. These all are the AMCs which are taking care of your funds, and only you can't transfer your SIP from SBI to Reliance. your AMC should be the same when you are doing this STP, because first what happens, they if you're investing in STP, first goal was to invest in the debt fund. So after some time when you have a good lump sum amount in your STP, you can transfer this to another, suppose in equity, so that after a long period of time you will get a good amount of capital appreciation also. So that is the main benefit for the STP. So capital appreciation for idle money. So this is like you have put some money in the debt, and after some time you want capital growth, so you will be able to transfer your money from that particular SIP into another one. So it would be your capital appreciation for idle money. Now taxation of every monthly transfer amount as it is redeemed from the previous mutual fund. Yeah, it is taxable amount, because the gain you are getting on that particular STP will be your gain, and then again that gain may deduct, okay, the rest of the amount will be transferred to the another SIP, another STP. Now SWP, just like SIP is the investment plan, we are investing every month for long period of time. In SWP, what happens, for sometimes we have invested in them, like currently if I am investing in SWP, so right now I will not take out any money, but after some time of time, periodic withdrawal I can go for, like मुझे कुछ कुछ समय के बाद कुछ कुछ, like after a 3 years, 4 years, 5 years period, I can get money withdraw के form में every month I can get that particular amount. Like SIP में I am giving every month, in SWP I am getting every month. So it would be the source of regular income. कि अगर मेरे पास suppose after 60 years I want कि मैं मेरे पास I don't have any government job, I would be needing some money for my basic, fulfilling my basic needs. So what I would do, I would go for SWP, because currently I'm working, so I can put my money in SWP. But once I'll be old, I won't be able to earn money. What would happen is I can withdraw partial amount as a form of periodic installments I'll be getting, and it would be my source of regular income. And that time also, because for so long we have put our money in particular investment, so for after that time our capital gain would, whenever money will be coming to us, it will be withdrawal, and the tax, it will be taxed after every redemption. कि हमारी 10 units, suppose today I have 100 units, but today I'm not taking out that money. After 15 or 20 years I'm taking out only 5 units. 5 units I have sold. या मैंने बोला मुझे 5 units I want to redemption. तो 5 units का whatever amount would be at that time, वो amount मुझे मिलेगा after जो भी tax का उसका part होगा deduct हो करके. So these are the basic 3 things we need to understand, because it is a topic, I think question comes from this topic. So SIP, STP and SWP, these are the main 3 things which are useful for investing in the mutual fund for the small investors. SIP generally, I'm not saying that it is not for a big investor, but small investors can do, because the amount for the investment is very less, just as 500 rupees, anybody can open their SIPs. Now, what is systematic investment plan? We'll come to definition now. So an alternative to lump sum payment in mutual funds, because mutual fund may, if I don't have so much of money, so SIP allows me to invest in the mutual fund through small installments. Monthly I'll pay 500 rupees, and after 15 years I'll be a huge amount of, I'll be getting huge amount of money, और मेरे पास एक बहुत अच्छा कॉर्पस बन जाएगा कि बहुत अच्छा मेरे पास एक पैसे इकट्ठे हो जाएंगे. So this reduces the financial burden on the investor and gives the added benefit of power of compounding, because every day you're every month you are giving this money. So what happens? It has the power of compounding, because 500, then 500, then the 500 you are going. So at the end, your money will be compounded, and you will not have burden कि मुझे इतना सारा अभी pay करना है. Suppose I want to pay 1 lakh of money, तो वो अभी एकदम से मेरे पास से चला जाएगा. But if I am paying 500, तो last में मुझे काफी अच्छा amount मिलेगा, which would be beneficial for small investors. So small, what they do, they just invest small amount every month in the installments, and जितनी भी यूनिट, जितना भी हम पे करेंगे based on the current NAV, net asset value जो होती है mutual fund की, based on that days, if I am suppose SIP date is my 10th of every month. So on the date every month 10th को जो भी NAV होगी, मैं जिस फंड के अंदर इन्वेस्ट कर रही हूँ उस NAV के अकॉर्डिंगली I'll be getting number of units. So जितना suppose that day NAV ज्यादा है तो I'll be getting less units. Suppose NAV बहुत कम है तो I'll be getting more units. So particular day के accordingly we will be now the fund money instead of one down payment spreads over the time period of your investment tenure. So the fund money instead कि मैं one time पे down payment बहुत सारा कर दूं, मेरे लिए better होगा कि मैं थोड़ा थोड़ा सा करके उस amount को invest करूं. Now the systematic plan जो है वो बहुत easy way है, बहुत ही simple plans होते हैं. Anybody can enter into the mutual fund and create their wealth. We can also do SIP and ELSS. ELSS means equity linked savings schemes. इसके अंदर क्या होता है, सारा like 80% of the money goes into the equity market and 20% of the money goes into the debt market. And other thing is it comes under the section 80C. So 1.5 लाख तक का benefit we will be getting. हम इस SIP के through भी अगर हम जाते हैं, ELSS में हम करते हैं, because ELSS जो है, these are the type of mutual fund which gives you इसका टैक्स का बेनिफिट देती है अंडर द एडीसी स्कीम्स. दीज आर अगेन combination of debt and equities. These fund equity linked savings funds are the combination of both the avenues, both the investments. इक्विटी में जाएगा आपका 80% जो करंटली सेबी ने चेंजेस किए, 20% के अराउंड जाएगा आपका डेट बॉन्ड्स में या डेट के अंदर जाता है. SIP works on the principle of rupee costing averaging. Again rupee costing averaging because आपका जो मनी है by the time आपका कंपाउंड होता रहता है. So आपका कोई फिक्स्ड अमाउंट आपका हर बार रहता है. Based on that you will be getting a good amount of money later on after once your SIP amount SIP tenure will be finished. So it gives flexibility to choose desired scheme or withdraw in parts. We have the flexibility कि हम कौन सा choose करना चाहते हैं, कितना money हम pay करना चाहते हैं. So all these benefits this gives. Now the benefits of SIPs are affordability. It is because the money we are investing is very less. 500 से शुरू हो जाता है हमारा. हम चाहते हैं अगर 5000 करना तो it's our choice, but 500 is the minimum amount to go for the SIP. So it's affordable for large number of small investors. Power of compounding. Again our money is getting compounded. रुपी कॉस्ट एवरेजिंग, हमारा पैसा एवरेज बेस पर एक लॉन्ग टेन्योर के बाद में गुड वेल्थ में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है. देयर आर डिफरेंट बेनिफिट्स आल्सो इन विच जहां पे हमें कुछ म्यूचुअल सो रेगुलर अकाउंट स्टेटमेंट्स हो जाते हैं, रिडेम्पशन हो सकता है. देयर इज अ लॉक इन पीरियड आल्सो फॉर 3 इयर्स तक आप नहीं निकाल सकते हो. डिफरेंट एसआईपीज एंड डिफरेंट फंड हाउसेस गिव्स यू डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ फैसिलिटीज कि किसी का लॉक इन पीरियड कितना है, डिपेंड्स ऑन विच फंड यू आर गोइंग फॉर. सो 3 इयर्स तक आप नहीं निकाल पाओगे. Now how does it work, like how does the SIP work? We have to invest some amount of money. Based on your amount, the unit you are getting will be less and more because it would be based on that day, particular day net asset values. On the other hand, if the market raises, investor will accumulate less unit. अगर market की price बहुत ज़्यादा market, because mutual fund again investing your money in the market. So as market goes up, NAV की प्राइस लो हो जाती है, एंड इफ द NAV की प्राइस बढ़ जाती है, मार्केट के साथ साथ NAV की प्राइस बढ़ेगी, देन यू विल बी गेटिंग लेस नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स. नाउ रिटर्न्स आर नॉट गारंटीड. हम नहीं कह सकते कि गारंटीड मिलेगा, but people have seen that 10 to 15 years if you have kept your money for the long duration of time. So the range was the 12 to 15% per annum तक का म्यूचुअल फंड का ग्रोथ लोगों ने देखा है. एंड देयर आर डिफरेंट थीसिस आल्सो ऑन दिस म्यूचुअल फंड कि कितने टाइम ड्यूरेशन में आप पे करते हो, कितना आपने टाइम तक रखा है, एंड व्हाट इज योर गुड अमाउंट ऑफ रिटर्न यू आर गेटिंग फॉर हाउ मच लॉन्ग पीरियड. सो दिस वाज द its workings, how does it work, and now this is invest. How to invest, what do you need to do? You can fill a common application form. आप अपने if you have bank account, you can go online also. Online पे you will be finding options कि आपको mutual fund options में जाके you want to open your SIP. So automatically आपके अकाउंट से वो अमाउंट हर महीने डेबिट होता रहेगा. आप उसके अंदर यू कैन चूज किस तरह का इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है, किस तरह के फंड में जाना है, प्योरली डेट में जाना है, बैलेंस्ड फंड्स में यू वांट टू गो फॉर equity funds, you want to go for ELSS schemes, you want to go for contra funds. There are different kinds of funds in mutual funds where you can go. So you have the frequency, कितना आप 3 months में पे करना चाहते हो, you want to go for annually, quarterly, 6 monthly, कितने साल के लिए करना चाहते हो, what would be your amount, 5000 है, 500 है. So you have the flexibility to choose how what type of SIP you want. So you can weekly choose, fortnightly भी also you can choose कि weekly मुझे इतना पैसा, if you are a businessman और आपको like not a salaried person, so you can choose your weekly कि मुझे 1000 rupees मेरा weekly चला जाए. So first installment is in the form of a check, auto debit thereafter. So first installment, whenever you are going and opening your SIP, so आपको first time पे आपको check देना पड़ेगा at the time of opening, and then you can go for this auto debit option. Now another is what the systematic transfer plan. So the systematic transfer plan is, again, in this process money from a fund is transferred to another mutual fund scheme, but for the same AMC. So AMCs asset management companies होती हैं जो आपके funds को देख रेख करती है. AMC only hires fund manager जो आपके अमाउंट को या आपके पूल्ड मनी को सेव पूल्ड मनी को इन्वेस्ट करता है. So if you have SBI, AMC, you have done SIP. So आप SIP, if you were in debt fund और आप इक्विटी में जाना चाहते हो तो you have to go for SIP only. एक ही AMC आप चूज कर सकते हो, उसी के अंदर आपका फंड ट्रांसफर हो जाएगा एक फंड से दूसरे फंड के अंदर. So this is not the one-time transfer of the whole amount, but done through periodic payments of fixed amounts from time to time. So again, it is time to time payment in SIP, STP, and SWP. The very basic thing is to be punctual about the timing. If you have to pay, you have to pay monthly. So fixed amount आपको time to time देना ही पड़ेगा. It is similar to SIP as the investment in the fund scheme is being done through the installments ही जाएगा आपका every month, but the difference is that the installment money is not withdrawn from the bank as in SIP, but from the previous fund plan. इसमें क्या होता है, SIP हम जो भी करते हैं, we can take out the money from the bank, but in this हमारा जो मनी निकल रहा है, it will be going into the another fund. एक फंड से पैसा निकाला और दूसरे वाले फंड में चला गया. So it is the transfer between the funds. So basically systematic transfer plan. Transfer terms will remind you कि transfer कहाँ से कहाँ होता है. पहले suppose आपका money was in the debt fund, now it will be going into the liquid fund for capital appreciation. तो एक फंड से दूसरे फंड में ट्रांसफर होगा. Other thing is the AMC should be the same. So this is the basic systematic transfer plan. So this is also average out the cost like SIP as well as rebalances the portfolio through transfer and reallocation of the money from one asset to another, like from debt fund हो गया, इससे equity fund में हो गए, या suppose equity fund में you were there and now you are seeing कि market से बहुत ज़्यादा price हो रहा है, मेरा कुछ नुकसान हो सकता है, and once you have reached to the particular point कि यार मेरा इतना पैसा बढ़ गया, अब मैं इसको save करना चाहता हूँ, you can go for the debt fund also. So you can transfer your money from debt to equity, equity to debt to balanced anywhere, but in the same AMC. So STP is a variant of SIP only because in this investment हमें time to time period करना ही पड़ता है. Every time we need to be strict. Quarterly कर सकते हैं, weekly कर सकते हैं. Same SIP types होते हैं. Fixed STP, capital appreciation and flexi STP. इसके अंदर क्या होता है कि fixed के अंदर हमारा fixed हो गया transfer के for some time it is be in the debt fund की for 5 years. Then capital appreciation के what do? We need to go for the equity fund. We can change और flexi के अंदर वो change होता रहता है time period के साथ में. STP is a risk mitigation strategy. It will protect you from adverse losses to a large extent. Now it is a mitigation strategy. That means कि once you have gone to a certain level, you have achieved your certain goal of that money. कितना तो मुझे मिल गया. Then you can put that money into the safer side, to the balanced fund कि अब मुझे नहीं करना है तो मैं balance में जा सकता हूँ. So it will save you from the adverse losses in the future. So STP is a way to systematically invest in a equity mutual fund, while the rest of the money goes in a liquid fund. So कुछ ऐसे आपको होते हैं जिसमें dividend reinvestment के options भी मिल जाते हैं. There are some funds वहाँ पे आपका dividend जो मिल रहा है, again it would be reinvested in another options. There are different kind of options. That is what I told कि go and check on the Google and come back and tell me about all these things, but I think nobody has checked. So benefits of STP क्या है? Consistent return मिलते हैं आपको. Returns in the STP are pretty consistent as money invested in debt funds earns interest till the time it is transferred to the equity fund. So what happens? For initially you are putting your money in the debt funds and you have earned good amount of interest over that, and after some period of time you are transferring it to the equity fund where again you are getting a good growth on the equity fund. So your return would be consistent, on a good return you will be getting. Now the average of costing, it's averaging of cost is STP has some integral features is, just like SIP, it is all the compounding हो रहा है आपका money, average cost रुपये की आपकी निकल रही है, portfolio reinvest हो रहा है, rebalancing portfolio हो रहा है. That means once you were in debt you are going in liquid equity, once you were in equity you are going to the debt, you can reshuffle your portfolio again and again. So when we have to use the STP we have to use if we were in the debt and we are going to the equity. So then the market was very volatile. You don't want to take risk. You don't want to take risk with your money. So what would you do? You can invest through the STP in the market. Debt में पड़ा रहने दो because अभी जैसे market is so volatile. You don't want, but आपका SIP है. You can go for STP. So what would happen? Your money will be saved in the debt funds. And then market will move up, तो वहां से automatically debt से equity में transfer हो जाएगा. So it will be like saving you from the future uncertainties as compared to SIP. Now SWP, systematic withdrawal plan. Systematic withdrawal plan, it is a contrary to SIP. Just like in SIP, we were giving money. In SWP, we are taking out the money. So we have invested some money. प्लस जो भी रिटर्न था वो हमें आफ्टर सम पीरियड ऑफ टाइम विल बी गेटिंग इन द पीरियोडिक विड्रॉल. कुछ विड्रॉल्स कुछ इंस्टॉलमेंट्स में हमें मिलता रहेगा. ईच टाइम यू विड्रॉ द मनी यू रिडीम सर्टेन यूनिट्स. एज आई टोल्ड कि 10,000 यूनिट मेरे पास हैं, 10,000 में से मैंने इस बार 1,000 निकाल दिए, कुछ ना कुछ यूनिट्स रिडीम करती जाऊंगी मैं, मतलब वो रिडम्पशन हो जाएगा मेरा. And gradually the number of units decline before it goes zero, which means you have withdrawn the whole amount. So जितनी भी आपके पास है वो धीरे धीरे कम होता जाएगा. Suppose 10,000 था, 1,000 मैंने निकाल ली, 9,000 बचा, then 1,000 निकाली, 8,000 बचा. So until the whole amount becomes zero, जब तक मैंने सारी यूनिट्स अपनी निकाल नहीं ली, सारा पैसा निकाल नहीं लिया, तब तक मुझे वो small portion में पैसे आते रहेंगे. So you can also choose to withdraw only the returns earned per month instead of the invested amount, which keeps in intact. We have this option also कि we need not to go for this कि invested money जो suppose मैंने invested किया 10 lakh rupees मुझे वो चाहिए. No, I don't want कि 10 lakh पे जो भी मेरा interest बनता जा रहा था मुझे सिर्फ वो आ जाए. So there are also two types of SWPs, fixed income and appreciation withdrawal. तो fixed income के अंदर हमारा fix हो जाता है सारा पैसा, एंड एप्रिसिएशन विड्रॉल के अंदर जो पैसा फिक्स है ऑलरेडी वो तो है, बट जो एप्रिसिएशन हुआ है वो सिर्फ हमारा विड्रॉ होगा, जो फिक्स था वो फिक्स का फिक्स ही रह जाएगा. सो फिक्स्ड इनकम इज ऑब्टेनिंग अ फिक्स्ड अमाउंट एज इनकम बाय रिडीम सर्टेन यूनिट्स, क्योंकि वो फिक्स्ड है तो उसमें हमारी जो रिडीम्शन की यूनिट है वो कम होती जाएगी अनटिल अनलेस जब तक हम जीरो पे ना पहुंच जाए विल बी गेटिंग दैट विड्रॉल मनी. बट एप्रिसिएशन विड्रॉल वाले केस में क्या होता है कि सपोज 10 लाख था, 10 लाख का हमारा एप्रिसिएशन होता चला गया 1,000 रुपए 2,000 रुपए, तो हमारा वो आएगा, बट जो रेस्ट वाला है वो उसी तरह से फंड में पड़ा रहेगा. Now an SWP allows an investor to withdraw designated sum of money and units of the fund account predefined regular intervals. ये predefined होते हैं, हम पहले से डिफाइन करके रखते हैं कि हमें कितने कितने टाइम के बाद मनी चाहिए, 3 months के बाद, 6 months के बाद. Instead of selling all the time units at once, spanning the income across multiple intervals can lower the total tax. It is a tax efficient way of receiving regular income. एक इंस्टेड ऑफ कि सारा पैसा हमें एक साथ मिले, हमें थोड़ा थोड़ा करके मिलेगा और थोड़ा थोड़ा उस पे से टैक्स का efficiency मिलेगी. SWP allows the investor a certain level of independence from market instability and helps in avoiding market timing. So SWP क्या करता है कि एक certain level of independence देता है market instability से, और हमें avoid करता है कि भाई market का timing कितना खराब चल रहा है उस बेस पे हम अभी withdrawal करें या उस कुछ टाइम के बाद withdrawal करें. We have option to withdraw anytime. So in this plan the investor can reinvest the redeemed cash in another portfolio or use it as a source of regular income. So it is suitable for retirees who are looking for a fixed low income. So once, as I told, once you'll be getting 60 years old, you won't be able to earn that much of money. So start this investments now, so that what would happen at the time when you won't be able to work properly, you will be getting some amount of money as your retirement plan. You can plan this. So SWPs are especially useful for retirees who are looking for a fixed source of income, because हमें fixed source of income चाहिए at certain age, तो हमें वो उतना amount of money time to time मिलता रहेगा. Now, benefits of SWP is what SWP helps an investor customize the cash flow to suit his needs, help saving an investor from market fluctuations. So SWP, SIP, STP, these all are basically saving us from the market fluctuations. They are like, we can withdraw regularly, we can invest regularly. We have a particular span of time where we are keeping our money in the market. We have the tax benefit also. And these are the conclusive statement for the SIP, STP, and SWP, where five this characteristics are there. We can say what. So what is SIP actually? The SIP is a monthly investment. SIP, investment plan, we are investing something. STP, transferring from one mutual fund scheme to another. SWP, that means W means withdrawal. Withdrawal means redemption of your units. Now, why do we do this? Because it helps us to discipline and spread out investment. If we don't have lump sum amount of a very big amount, so we can go for SIP, we can go for STP. In STP, we can rebalance or reshuffle our portfolio by changing asset from here liquidity to debt to balanced. Now SWP, it helps an investment for the secondary monthly income की एक income तो हमारे पास है ही, but कुछ time पहले था तो invested money उसकी भी हमें एक और secondary income मिलती जा रही है. हम कैसे कर सकते हैं? SIP, your money gets debited from the bank account and used to buy mutual fund की units buy की जाती है. If you have opened your account on your bank, the fund houses sells mutual fund units and buy mutual fund unit for another scheme. यहाँ पे STP के अंदर सारा कुछ fund houses करता है. आपकी units को किस unit में डालना है वो fund manager decide करता है. The fund houses sells mutual fund units every month and credit the money in your account. यहाँ पे fund houses आपकी जो units को sell करेगा, जितने में भी बिकेगी after उसका जो भी charges होता है 1% और some have 1.2% around service charges वगैरह deduct होने के बाद में they will credit the rest of the amount in your account. Now when you have to do, if you have idle investment throughout your life, if you have some money and you are saving that money, and if you are keeping कि मैं RD में डालता हूँ तो RD bank would not provide you that much of return, but SIP would provide you for longer duration of time. तो आप SIP के लिए जा सकते हो. 3-4% return का differentiation आता है. Idle when you have a few years away from goal or during market volatility. So if you have invested your money in funds of the debt funds, and you are thinking that you want to in coming 5 or 10 years, so you can transfer your money from one fund to another fund. Now this is SWP is idle for retirement because we can withdraw in installments. So if we want some kind of extra income after some period of time, so today onwards we can start SWP. Now it is best for initial investments. STP is best for reinvestment, and SWP is good for existing investment which you have already invested. Now you have one. Has anybody gone through the syllabus of this? Your personal financing? So I want to ask some questions. Who will answer? What is the market risk? Neha, Chaitanya, Deepika, Rutuja, Shubhada, anybody? Are you all available or not?
Yes, ma'am.
So answer me. How many type of risks are there? If you have heard me properly, if you have understood, at least इतना तो आंसर कर ही सकते हैं आप लोग. Because if you are not turning on your camera, at least turn on your mic and answer. How many types of risk are there? Anyone? Maurya, Pratiksha, Omkar, Mayuri. How many types of risk are there? Mayuri, I think. Jayashree.
Yes, ma'am.
So you are all attending class just the sake for attendance only? Or you all are paying attention?
Interest rate risk.
Type of risk I'm asking. The very basic thing is the type of risk.
Marketing risk.
No. No.
Liquidity risk.
Yeah, these are types of one kind of risk. That one main kind I'm asking. If we make a flow chart, first will come risk. And then two side what will come? One side will come systematic risk, right? So systematic risk is on the one side and another side is unsystematic risk. So what is systematic risk? I am asking, meaning बताओ मुझे आप लोग. और what is unsystematic risk? दोनों का meaning क्या है? Because if you all 13, I think 10, 11, 12 participants are there and you must have attended it carefully and you have paid attention to the class, so you must have known all these things because मैंने 2-3 times different slides से I have told what kind of risk. Systematic and unsystematic. Can we avoid systematic risk? अच्छा इसका आंसर दो. Can we avoid? Systematic risk को हम avoid कर सकते हैं?
Yes, ma'am.
Systematic risk include and marketing risk, interest rate risk.
ये सारे तो types of risk हैं that comes under the systematic risk बेटा. Systematic risk वो होता है, तुम system को देखो ना, systematic system. You can't avoid the system. You can remember
Yes.
this like this. System है. System means any system. It could be economic system. हम इकोनॉमी को, जो इकोनॉमी करती है उससे हम इफेक्टेड होते हैं, हमसे इकोनॉमी इफेक्टेड नहीं होती है ना. सो सिस्टमैटिक रिस्क को लर्न करने का इस तरीका है कि सिस्टम, दैट मींस गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ चेंजेस किए तो हमारा रिस्क आता है. इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम, इकोनॉमी में कुछ चेंजेस हुए तो रिस्क आता है. रिफॉर्म्स चेंजेस हुए, कुछ भी ऐसी कंडीशन कहीं और से एक्सटर्नल. सिस्टमेटिक रिस्क मींस वी कांट अवॉइड, सिस्टम में है वो, मिलेगा आपको. अनसिस्टमेटिक रिस्क मींस it is not outside risk, it is not related to external factor, it is in unsystem. unsystem in system में नहीं है वो बाहर से हमें अफेक्ट नहीं करेगा, वो इंटरनली अफेक्ट करेगा. जैसे कि लेबर की स्ट्राइक हो गई, हम अवॉइड कर सकते हैं ना लेबर की स्ट्राइक.
Yes, ma'am.
हम वो जो चीज हम अवॉइड कर सकते हैं वो हमारा अनसिस्टमेटिक में आएगा. जो भी हम अवॉइड नहीं कर सकते दैट वुड कम इन सिस्टमेटिक रिस्क. एंड नाउ दिस इज द मेन टू टाइप्स ऑफ रिस्क. दे आर ऑल फाइनेंस स्टूडेंट्स और ये बेसिक चीजें आपको आनी चाहिए बिकॉज फाइनेंस के अंदर दीज 4-5 थिंग्स आर वेरी नेसेसरी. कोई भी आपको पूछ सकता है इन सब चीजों के बारे में. And once you go to third semester, fourth semester, आपकी risk के base के ऊपर you will be getting theories also, CAPM model, capital asset pricing model जो है आपका पूरा risk के ऊपर है, return के ऊपर है. SML जो आपकी लाइन सिमेट्री लाइन वाली एक थ्योरी है वो पूरी उसके ऊपर है. हाउ विल यू नो अगर आप सिस्टमैटिक नहीं रिस्क अभी तक याद कर पाओगे. तो सिस्टमैटिक रिस्क वो रिस्क होता है जो यू वॉन्ट बी एबल टू अवॉइड, नहीं कर पाओगे अवॉइड. और वो है जो दैट गर्ल आई थिंक जयश्री वाज टॉकिंग कि मार्केट रिस्क है, लिक्विडिटी रिस्क है. यस, दीज आर ऑल द रिस्क जो कि हम अवॉइड नहीं कर सकते. कंट्री का रिस्क है, फॉरेन एक्सचेंज का रिस्क है, लिक्विडिटी का रिस्क है, फाइनेंस का रिस्क है. आपने उधारी ले ली, आपको पैसा चुकाना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज यू विल गो बैंकरप्ट. आपकी मतलब कंपनी पे ताला लग जाएगा. आप अवॉइड कर पाओगे? यू वॉन्ट बी एबल टू अवॉइड दैट. फाइनेंशियल रिस्क, मार्केट रिस्क, मार्केट के अपजॉन्स का आपकी वेल्थ के ऊपर फर्क पड़ेगा ही पड़ेगा. सो दीज ऑल कम्स अंडर द रिस्क. सो रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, रिस्क आर ऑफ टू टाइप्स मेन.
मैम सिस्टमैटिक रिस्क उसमें नेचुरल डिजास्टर्स वगैरह वो भी इफेक्ट करेगा क्या?
वो सारे इफेक्ट करेंगे. जैसे पेंडेमिक आया, तो पेंडेमिक के टाइम यू हैव सीन कि पेंडेमिक में हुआ क्या था, एकदम से मार्केट डाउन हुआ था. मार्केट भी डाउन हुआ था पेंडेमिक की वजह से. कितने टाइम तक आपके ये BSE NSE के मार्केट बंद रहे थे, मुंबई का पूरा स्ट्रीट बंद रहा था, राइट?
यस मैम.
Okay, so it's 7 o'clock. Please go for another lecture. We'll discuss it in the next class. Okay, if you have any problem related to risk and all, you can write it down and ask me in the next class. Okay.
मैम वन क्वेश्चन.
Yeah.
सिस्टमैटिक रिस्क में एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स अफेक्ट करते हैं ना?
हाँ, सिस्टमेटिक रिस्क सिस्टम का पार्ट, मतलब बड़े वाले सिस्टम का. एक्सटर्नली वो सारी चीजें हैं. इंटरनली के लिए आपका क्या हो जाएगा? इंटरनली जो बिजनेस, जैसे कि आपकी लेबर स्ट्राइक हो गई, मैनेजर ने एफिशिएंसी नहीं दिखाई, आपकी कोई मशीनरी का ब्रेकडाउन हो गया, वो इनसाइड आप वो अवॉइड कर सकते हो. एक मशीनरी हटा के दूसरी लगा सकते हो. गवर्नमेंट हटा के लगा सकते हो? नहीं ना.
No.
तो सिस्टमेटिक रिस्क एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स, अनसिस्टमेटिक रिस्क इंटरनल फैक्टर्स. ओके.
ओके मैम.
चलो, ओके, बाय, टेक केयर एवरीवन.
बाय मैम, थैंक यू.